Hello children, a very warm welcome to the virtual session again. So let us continue with the chapter Physical and Chemical Changes, chapter 6, part 11. What we were doing in the previous session, we were doing textual exercise and we finished till question number 1 from 1 to question number 1 to question number 6. Today we are going to continue with the textual exercise, question number 7. You have to take this down in your notebook, children, since it is an NCRT. It is an NCRT exercise. You need to write in your notebook. You have to go through this question and answer, children. Now, question number 7. I hope you will have written till question number 6 as well as you have written the answers. Explain why burning of wood and cutting it into small pieces are considered as two different types of changes. Now, why it is considered as two different types of changes? Take down the solution. Cutting of wood is a physical change as it does not change the nature of the wood. That means the chemical composition will not change. You are just cutting the wood into smaller pieces and it will not change the chemical composition. Wood will remain, the chemical composition will remain same. On the other hand, when you are burning, the chemical change will happen because the carbon dioxide gas will be released, chemical composition will be changed. That's why it is a chemical change as wood is converted into charcoal with the liberation of carbon dioxide. You have to take this down in your notebook, children. I hope you will have written down textual exercise of the previous session. Then describe how crystals of copper sulfate are prepared. Let us see how they are prepared because we have seen crystallization process in the previous session and we have done the crystallization of copper sulfate. And why we have to do crystallization? To purify copper sulfate crystals. So when you are getting crystals, when you do crystallization, you get a pure form of copper sulfate. That's why to purify substances we do crystallization. Most of the salt you can purify by the method of crystallization. It's a very simple method which we have discussed in a previous session. Let us see here what you do. Crystals of copper sulfate are prepared using the crystallization method which is described as follows. So take it down. Take a cup full of water in a beaker. Add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to this. Heat the water and then it starts boiling. Add copper sulfate powder while still stirring. You have to stir it well so that it helps in dissolving of copper sulfate powder in water. Add copper sulfate powder till the solution becomes saturated. You know what the term saturated? You have to keep adding, keep stirring till it will not take any more. That is the saturation point. Filter into a china dish. You know how to use the filter paper, we have discussed. So you have to use a glass funnel and put a filter paper on it. Filter the solution into a china dish. The impurities will be left on the filter paper as you do filtration of tea at home by using strainer. So on a filter paper, all the impurities, the insoluble impurities will remain on the filter paper. Then what you do, you have to allow it to cool it down. While what happens when you cool it down, the solution should be kept undisturbed so that crystals should be formed. When you disturb it, proper crystals will not form. So you have to leave the solution for cooling undisturbed. You will not disturb the solution and slowly the crystals of copper sulfate will separate out. This is how we have prepared and we have seen this in the previous session. You have to take it down. This is in your notebook, children. Explain how painting of an iron gate prevent it from rusting. As you all know, rusting is an unwanted chemical change which will destroy iron. Is an unwanted chemical reaction in the nature due to the attack of oxygen and water on iron, and the surface of the iron get degraded, and all the time what happens, there's a formation of brown flaky substances, that is rust. So we don't want the iron articles to get rusted because we are spending lots of money to make iron machineries. We use iron in lots of application you find of iron. That's why you need to protect iron, and painting is one of the method. And iron gate, how you are going to do this, we are going to see this. Rusting of ions requires contact with water, that is moisture and oxygen. That means these are the two important factors which will actually due to which rusting will happen. If you cut down one, then rusting process, that chemical reaction will not happen. So by painting an iron gate, we prevent the contact between iron, oxygen and water. You are preventing the surface of the iron, the contact of the surface of the iron and the atmospheric moisture and water you are cutting down by painting it. This helps in preventing of rusting of iron, because you are not allowing by painting. Painting will not allow the oxygen and the water vapor to penetrate inside the surface of the iron. It will form a protective coating on the surface of the iron. Is it quite clear, children? We'll go for next. Explain why rusting of iron object is faster in coastal areas than in deserts. Answer is very clear. You should know the answer. Why in coastal areas this thing happen very fast. Rusting happens very fast. Rusting of iron requires contact with water, as you know, and oxygen. In coastal areas, humidity is more in comparison to that of deserts. Desert have a hot, dry climate, whereas coastal areas it has a humid, lots of humidity, lots of moisture in the air because of the evaporation of water from the water bodies, lots of moisture. That's why in compare, if you compare uh, in desert, rusting of iron is faster in coastal areas than in deserts. So here you can see coastal area, due to the higher humidity in the air, rusting is faster. Whereas in desert it is a hot dry climate, due to less moisture, the process of rusting will be slower over there. I hope you are writing, children. Now, the gas we use in the kitchen is called liquefied petroleum gas. In the cylinder, it exists as a liquid. When it comes out from the cylinder, it becomes a gas. That is a change A. Then it burns. That is change B. The following statement pertain to these changes. Choose the correct one. Now you all should know, many of you all must be knowing this, the LPG cylinder at home which we use for domestic purpose for cooking and all, it is actually the liquefied petroleum gas which is you obtain from petrol while extracting petrol. That time you get some mixture of gases which is liquefied by applying pressure and manipulating temperature. That compressed gas is actually the liquefied petroleum gas, and which is used for domestic purpose at home. Now when you use at home, when you open the knob of the regulator, what happen, a change A happens when you open the knob of your stove. When you want to use that gas, it comes out from the cylinder, that is change A, and then when it start burning, when you lit the burner, when it start burning, that is change B. So you have to choose the statement which are correct one. First, process A is a chemical change, process B is a chemical change. Both process A and B are chemical changes. None of these processes is a chemical change. So now, can you make any guesses, children? Let us see the right answer. The answer is 2. Process B is a chemical change. Why? Because you are burning the gas. That will be a chemical change, whereas change A will be, it is just coming out of the cylinder through the pipe. That will be just a physical change. That means there is no change actually. It is just coming out. So the correct answer should be B. Process B is a chemical change because you are burning it. Is it quite clear, children? So for this question, you are just going to write the question 11 and write the correct answer. This answer, process B is a chemical change. Next, anaerobic bacteria digest animal waste and produce biogas. Change A. The biogas is then burnt as fuel. That is change B. The following statement pertain to these changes. Choose the correct one. Now over here, anaerobic bacteria digest animal waste and produce biogas. Um, Anaerobic bacteria will respire they do respiration in the absence of oxygen. So that is the way anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. That is anaerobic bacteria. They respire in the absence of oxygen, and they digest animal waste and produce biogas. That means they are acting on the animal waste. And then what, the decaying of the animal waste due to this anaerobic bacteria, they don't need oxygen to respire. So they digest animal, they decay the animal waste. While decaying the animal waste, what they produce biogas, that is change A. Now biogas is then burnt as a fuel, that is change B. The following statement pertain to this change is, choose the correct one. Process A is a chemical change. Process B is a chemical change. Both process A and B are chemical changes. None of this process is a chemical change. Can you guess, children? It's very simple. You know the chemical change, you know the physical change, and I had explained you the process, what happened over here in change A and change B. Can you make any guesses? Let us see the answer here. Answer 3, that is both the process A and B are chemical changes. Why? Because the anaerobic bacteria is decaying animal waste and produce biogas. So here you can see is a chemical change because a biogas is produced, and the decaying part is also a chemical change because the chemical composition of the animal waste will change because they're digesting it, they're decaying it, they're eating it up. That's why it's a chemical change. And the biogas which will burn, again the chemical composition of the biogas will change. That's why it is a chemical change. Hence the answer A and B both are chemical changes. I hope the concepts of these questions are very clear with you children, and I hope you're writing in your notebook. So here we end with the session children. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. See you very soon.